Hello, I'm Adrian, and I suppose this video marks my return to YouTube after a little bit of a break. I know that some of you have been wondering where I've been, what I've been up to, and missing me terribly, I'm sure. But no big secret there. I've just been very busy with work, with family, and moved into a new studio space as well, which is fantastic. Really enjoying working in this space, and I hope that's going to enable me to be a bit more productive and to bring you more videos more frequently in the future. So what I wanted to do today is to talk about one of my favourite songs by one of my favourite bands. This is September Girls by Big Star, and they're one of those bands I love so much that I kind of was reluctant to do any guitar videos on any of their songs, just in case it took away the magic of the songs or something like that. But I don't think that can ever really happen, and in fact, if anything, learning this song in depth has deepened my appreciation of their music. So what I'm going to do is take you through both of the guitar parts in this song. We've got the main rhythm guitar part, which is actually pretty easy to play. It's a nice kind of strumming part using some basic open position chords. And then there's a really interesting second guitar part as well, which I'm going to go through in some detail for you. So let's get down to business. Both guitar parts in this song then played by Alex Chilton, and I actually think he's one of my favourite guitar players. I'd put him right up there with some of my other heroes, people like Sterling Morrison, Johnny Marr, Steve Cropper even. And though Big Star's music is often described as power pop, it's melodic, it's Beatlesque, I think Chilton's guitar style is something else entirely. It's much more in that southern kind of R&B and soul mould, and he's a really interesting and inventive guitar player. I think that comes through more in the second guitar part of this particular song. The first guitar part, which I'm looking at now, the main rhythm guitar, is actually pretty straightforward to play. It's all played using some basic open position chords, some easy right hand strumming, and in that respect I think it's quite a nice beginner friendly song. So let's begin with the introduction. I should just point out that we've got a capo on here at the 2nd fret, so the song is technically in the key of E, but I'm going to be describing it in the key of D. It's all kind of based off of this first position D chord shape, so that's how I'm going to be talking about it. Introduction goes like this. Just playing these nice little 3-note triad shapes on the top 3 strings, starting off with this chord here, which is like a D chord played higher up the neck. I'm playing it up here at the 9th fret, or the 7th fret relative to the capo. I'm playing that together with the open 4th string twice. So what we've got there is it's like a G chord with a D in the bass. Again, talking relative to the capo here. Then we're moving to this chord shape here, which is the 5th fret on the top 2 strings, 6th fret on the G string, and playing that twice. That's like an A over D chord. Moving that down 2 more frets, which is another type of G over D, and then finally we arrive at our open D chord here. Playing that 8 times. That's the introduction. Notice there's just a little odd bar of 2 beats there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our introduction. Then we're on into the verse, which is pretty straightforward. We've just got a bar of D, a bar of A, a bar of G, and I'm using the G where you're holding sort of 2 fingers down on the top pair of strings. Some people call it the rock G or the Beatles G. It's just a little bit stronger sounding than the where you have the open B string in there. So that's the G I'm holding down. And then I'm changing to this E minor 7 voicing. This is the 2nd fret on the A and the D, and the 3rd fret on the B and the high E. Some of you might know that as the Wonderwall chord. Playing that 4 times, and that's the verse. It's all played with this steady kind of downstroke on the beat kind of a strum. Occasionally there might be the odd little upstroke in there as well, but for the most part it's just emphasizing those downbeats. But you can throw a little upstroke in there, maybe just between those chord changes to smooth those gaps a little bit. So we play that progression twice through for the verses. The chorus is this. So we've just got 2 beats on D, 2 beats on A, and then 4 beats on G. At first I thought this was just the same G as in the verses. That's how I've always played it. But listening really closely to the recording, I think I can actually hear that note on top, which is kind of making it into a G major 7 kind of a sound. So that's actually quite a nice detail to get in there, I think. So that G major 7, I'm just playing the root note there, 3rd fret on the low E string, muting the A, open D, G, B, and then I'm playing this 2nd fret on the top string. That's the chorus. Then after the chorus there's just a little linking bit, which is which goes back up to the 1st chord of the intro and goes into a bit more of a 16th note strum there, just to get you into the next verse. Then it all goes round again. We've got a little middle 8 section going on as well. In fact, technically it's a middle 7. We've only got 7 bars here. That goes like this. We've got no, it doesn't. It goes like this. So essentially this is just 2 chords here, and another kind of triad shape that is moved around. I'm playing this shape here. This is the I'll say the actual fret numbers here. That might be a bit easier. So we've got the 9th fret, 8th and 7th fret on the D, G and B. Got an open top string and an open A string, and we're really just going between this shape and then the same shape 2 frets lower. So it's kind of an A chord and then a G with an A in the bass, and we're just going between them with this kind of rhythm. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. That's the basic rhythm. The right hand varies a little bit. You can kind of improvise and do that your own way if you like. One little detail I picked up on is just occasionally I can hear Chilton playing the. So on that 1st chord there's a 6th in there, which you can achieve just by putting your little finger down on the B string. So that's our little middle section. Then we're into the solo, which is basically the same as the verse. say the same as the chorus. It's similar to the chorus anyway. We've got D, A, G, G, and then as it repeats, it's just 2 beats on the D, 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 A, G, G. And that's really pretty much it for the rhythm guitar part to this song. You've got the intro, the verse, the chorus, middle bit, and then the chords underneath the solo. Then I think there's a final verse, final chorus, and we're out. So that's about it for the first guitar part of this song. All right, and on to this fantastic lead guitar part then. And I've actually spent quite a lot of time doing some research and really careful listening to try and get to the bottom of exactly what's going on here on the recording. And at first I thought that this guitar part was played kind of down this end of the neck, still with the capo on the 2nd fret, and that seemed to work, seemed to sound pretty close, but something wasn't quite right. So then I experimented with placing the capo higher up the neck, put it on the 7th fret, and that sounded really, really close. There are certain things on the recording that you can't do, and kind of droning strings that didn't work when the capo was lower down. So that was in the end what I settled on, and then I thought on the recording that maybe it was just double tracked to achieve that kind of chorusy sound. And I was about to go with that when I came across a great interview in Sound on Sound magazine with a man called John Fry, who was the engineer and I think the owner of Ardent Studios, where Big Star recorded all their albums. And he reckons that the kind of high lead part on September Girls was played on something called a Mando guitar. He said that Alex Chilton had something called a Fender Mando guitar. And I googled that. I couldn't find a Fender Mando guitar, but there's certainly something called a Vox Mando guitar, and I'm pretty certain that that's what this sound is on the recording. It kind of makes sense really. And when you look at pictures of this Mando guitar, it's kind of got 6 strings, but each string is doubles like you'd find on a mandolin. So you can kind of play it like a guitar in a kind of guitar type tuning, but you get that chorusy kind of effect with each string doubled. So I think that's the secret to this particular sound on this record. So since I don't have access to a Mando guitar, I'm going to do it on a normal guitar, capo at the 7th fret. I think it sounds really, really close to how the recording sounds. I'm sure that all the kind of techniques and finger positions are the same as those that Alex Chilton would have used. Yeah, I think that the part kind of translates really nicely to a normal guitar played like this. When if and when I get hold of a Vox Mando guitar, I may well refilm this lesson in the interest of true authenticity and do it on that. But anyway, onto this guitar part, this Mando guitar part then, and I'm going to break it down into, we've got an introduction, then there's the chorus part, and then there's the solo, and then a little bit of an end solo as well. So I'm going to take you through the main parts. I have done a very detailed transcription of all of this, so for the parts I kind of skim over, you might want to check that out and get all of those nerdy details in full. So introduction then goes something like this. We've got the rhythm guitar comes in, and then the lead part enters like this. We've got 1, 2. So nice, lots of these classic kind of Alex Chilton kind of soul guitar kind of licks going on here. I'm going to again describe this relative to the capo. I'm sliding up to the 4th fret on the A string, and then I've got this playing the 2nd fret on the D, hammering on to the 4th fret, but I'm also holding down the 2nd fret on the G as well. So it's coming back to the 2nd fret there on the middle 2 strings, then sliding down to the 2nd fret on the A string, open, and then 2 to open on the low E string, and then playing just an A chord there. So that's the opening lick coming in on beat 2. So it's 1, 2. Then we're into the verse. I don't think there's any lead guitar as such during the verse. It comes in again on the chorus with this figure. We've got glorious lead guitar part. This, I think, it's similar to the introduction. We've got that A string hammer from 2 to 4, maybe just holding down the 2nd fret on the 4th string as well. Then I'm playing the 4th and the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. Then I'm just going down to the 2nd fret on the A, D and G. And then that's 4 on the A, 2 on the D, down to 2 on the A and D, and then 2nd fret on the low E and the open A and D. And that just repeats in the second half of the chorus. So we've got 3, 4. And then just between the end of the chorus and the start of the next verse, we've just got this little kind of re-intro, I suppose, which is 1. Something along those lines. It's that same hammer-on move. It's 1, and then some little thirds ideas. We've got 4 and 2 on the D and the G, going down here to the 2nd and 1st frets, and then 4 and 2 on the A and the D, and then down to there, which is 2 on the A and an open D. And then this nice chiming chord shape. I suppose it's kind of a 7 sus4 kind of a sound. 2 on the A, 2 on the G, all of the rest of the strings open. Then we're on into the second verse again. Not much or any lead guitar in that part. Second chorus, same as before. Another little linking bit, which is that same kind of hammer-on move. Then we're into the middle section, and quite hard to hear the lead guitar in this part, but if you listen closely, I think it's something like this. We've got there's some rhythmic stuff just on that open bottom string, and then into this kind of little rock and roll riff, kind of a bass line thing. It builds up. Then we're into the solo itself, which I'll just play through for you first. I think we've got so fair. It's a kind of quite a simple melody, really, that this is based on. We've got and that's just thickened up with some chiming open strings, and of course on the Mando guitar you get the kind of chorusing effect because each note is doubled as well. So I'm hammering on from the 3rd to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. I'm just letting the top string drone out as well. I'm going down to the 3rd fret, 2nd, open, and then the second fret on the G string, just with that open B ringing as well. And I'm going between that note and the open B string and the open top string. Then it really just repeats. Rhythm is just slightly different. And then we're going down to the first fret on the G, to the second fret, and then just a little chord to finish off the solo. That's just open D, second fret on the G, and open pair of top strings. Then we've got, so I'm just reading this here to make sure I don't miss anything. Another little linking bit. Another little hammer-on riff here. I mean, all of this stuff, just in terms of the theory here, we're kind of in A here with this A chord shape, and we're just sliding up into a kind of first inversion of that A shape. So sliding up to the third, there's the chord. And you've got all of those nice little hammer-on notes available to you. You might have heard this stuff in the rhythm playing of Hendrix. But it's really a staple of that whole soul and R&B guitar style, this kind of idea. So nearly there then. We're on into the final verse. Again, no lead guitar in that. And then we've just got a final chorus, same as before. Just one extra repeat on the final chorus, and then we've got an outro solo which starts off exactly the same as the first solo. Then it changes slightly. We've got some more of these third shapes. These are the same shapes that I described before. We're just going through those. That 7th sus4 chord one more time, and then just a final lick of the song. So the same hammer on that we had at the start of the solo. Finishing with that note, the 5th fret on the top string. I think there's a bit of the open second string as well, so a little bit of a kind of dissonant note there on the ending. That's it for this video. I really hope you have a lot of fun learning to play this amazing song, and if you're not that familiar with the music of Big Star, then I do urge you to check out some more of their music. They've made 3 amazing albums, and you really won't regret checking out any of those records, I don't think. If you enjoy what I do, then do subscribe to this channel. That will generally help me keep things ticking along here and help me continue to do what I'm doing. And take a look at my website as well. As I said, I'm going to post the full music and tab to this song up there, and you can find plenty of other guitar related stuff there that you won't find on YouTube. Take care, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye. Got my little friend back here as a studio mascot, you'll be pleased to see. But yeah, gear. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I used to get the sounds in this video, as it's something I always get loads of questions about. So now I'm in the new studio, I've actually got a lot of my old gear kind of out from hiding, and I can actually kind of have it set up and make a little bit more noise. So for this video, as usual, I'm kind of trying to just get the closest to the original recording with the gear that I've got. And a lot of the Big Star guitar sounds are very kind of beatly. It's that kind of Revolver era kind of chiming guitar sound. So I'm using my AC30. It's a 1990s Vox AC30. I'm going into the brilliant channel, the top input there. It's just what it sounds like on those big star records. A lot of the time, I don't know exactly what gear Alex Chilton would have used. So that's my amp. Guitar wise, I'm using my Strat. Now this is a it's a little bit complicated, but essentially it's a 63 Strat. Not entirely original. I think there have been some changes made. It's been refinished, so I don't think it's super valuable, but it's certainly a very nice guitar. Pedal wise, it's pretty minimal. I'm just going into my little mini pedal board here. The only pedal I'm using is the Wampler Tumnus, just for a little bit of breakup and overdrive, just so I can get that sound at a reasonable volume. I'm not actually running the AC30 at that louder volume. I thought about using a bit of compression. I've got my MXR Dynacomp there, but I ended up turning that off. That just didn't seem to work quite so well. So what I'm probably going to do is just run some compression in the computer when I mix the audio for this video.